The case study is about Dalilah Boutique, who is owned by Puan Shazwani, who started the business in 2010. The boutique sells varieties of products, including their own scarf and shawls, with a view of becoming a well-known Muslimah boutique.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I am Amirah Nurul Dalilah and I will present the first issue arise from this case study, which is insufficient of capital. This issue arises when Dalilah's boutique does not have sufficient capital in order for them to redesign and improve their boutique environment. I have analyzed that Dalilah's boutique need those capital in order to help them to update and organize their accounting system, to redesign their boutique, and to produce their own scarf. I have listed out 3 alternatives that can be used by Puan Shazwani, who is the owner of the boutique. The first alternative is by using her own personal savings. The second alternative is by applying for a bank loan. The third alternative is applying for a grant either from the government or any corporation. All of those alternatives has their own advantage and disadvantages. So let's get through one by one. For the first alternative, Puan Shazwani can withdraw her savings at any time when the business needs it. And of course, there is no interest will be charged. But does Puan Shazwani's savings enough to fund the capital? And can the business pay back Puan Shazwani money? Okay, let's proceed to the second alternative. By choosing this alternative, Puan Shazwani can choose the best bank and the bank that can approve their application immediately. And of course, bank will charge a high interest rate. Some of the banks may require a pledge as a security before they lend us the loan. In these uncertain economic conditions, like today when the COVID-19 outbreaks, most of the business suffers to get sales and to pay their overhead. Can Dalilah's boutique survive in this pandemic? And could they pay back the loan without any bad luck? It's okay, let's proceed to the third alternative, which is by applying for a grant. By applying for a grant, most of the organization does not require us to pay back the fund. And plus, they will give us support and guidance once we receive the grant. And the best part is, when the business becomes more successful after receiving those grants, most of the organization will give us more grants after that. But in order for us to receive those grants, we have to give some effort. We need to prepare a proposal in order for us to compete with others. And we need to make some research on which grant that's suitable with our nature of business. This is because some of the grants are only offers to the selected field of business. From all of those alternatives, there are few criteria that Puan Shazwani should take into consideration. One of it is she should choose the one that offers the lowest interest rate. She also should choose the one that does not require huge amount of security pledge. And the third criteria is the loan should be repayable within 5 to 10 years. And the last one is it must be easy to be applied. From all of those criteria, I would like to recommend to Puan Shazwani to apply for a grant. There are a lot of organizations outside there who offer a grant. For example, MDAC, MARA, Tekan National, Teraju, and Matrit.
My name is Nurazimah binti Azmi, and I'm going to present the second issue of Dalilah Boutique. The issue is location. The issue arises because other competitors' location is located in a more strategic place where there are more potential buyers. And the location of Dalilah Boutique on the first floor will give the limited access for older and disabled customers. The alternative to this issue are whether to move to a new location or stay at the same location but improve the marketing strategies and customer services. There are some criteria that need to be taken into account in choosing the best option. First, location. For option 1, as there are many fashion boutiques growing in these areas, they are able to attract the interest of many potential buyers. Option 2 location is surrounded by the restaurant, supermarket, and car workshop that does not relate to this product and services offered by Dalilah Boutique. Besides that, Dalilah Boutique is located on the first floor, makes it difficult for people to find this boutique and be aware of its existence. Second, competitors. For option 1, there are many competitors since there are many shops that offer similar product. For option 2, this place has no competitor since it is the only Muslimah boutique that available at the area. Next, accessibility and parking. For option 1, there are lifts and escalators to make it accessible to the older and disabled customers. Since these places are often crowded with shoppers, it can create difficulties and time consuming for the shopper to find parking in these locations. For option 2, the only way to access to the boutique is to walk upstairs. Next, monthly rental. We can see that option 1 has higher rental cost than option 2 due to their strategic location and higher demand. For the marketing strategies, if they choose option 1, they need new marketing strategies and this will make them incur extra costs. If they choose option 2, they need to improve their existing marketing strategies and allocate costs effectively. Since Dalilah Boutique already have their online marketing platform, I would like to suggest to Dalilah Boutique to collaborate or hiring local celebrity or influencer to be their model and appear in their YouTube channel to promote their boutique. They also can do giveaway or contests that related to their products and services. Based on cost incurred, we can see that because of the new placement, option 1 would incur more cost than option 2. After analyzing each criteria, the best choice would be to remain at the same place while doing extensive promotion. I believe if Dalilah Boutique strengthens its marketing strategies, this will therefore increase the likelihood that Dalilah Boutique will be the first Muslimah boutique center that could attract other competitors to start their business at that location, which is at Session 7.
Now, I would like to present about the Dalilah Boutique layout. Based on the previous discussion regarding the location, we recommend that the Dalilah Boutique should remain at the same location at Section 7 rather than moving to a new place. Since the best recommendation is to remain at the same location, thus they need to consider either to renovate the layout or not. Based on the current boutique layout, there is an issue on it where the boutique look messy and crowded, as there are some products that cannot be seen by the customer because it is hidden behind the partition. Why did this issue arise? This is because the Dalilah Boutique has too many vendors to place their product in the boutique. Second, the placements of the product are not organized. Third, the Dalilah Boutique has limited space to operate a cafe in the boutique. So, what the Dalilah Boutique can do in order to show the exclusiveness of the Dalilah Boutique? There are two alternatives that Dalilah can do, either to hire the interior designer to rearrange the layout and product placement, or rearrange the product placement by themselves. Now, let's evaluate the alternative. If the Dalilah hire the interior designer, of course it will incur higher costs compared when they rearrange by their own. However, by hiring the interior designer, it will take less time as they already facilitate the entire process of renovation. In contrast, when they rearrange by themselves, it will consume more time because they need to do a survey and research to ensure the design is suitable for the boutique layout. Next, the outcome when hiring the interior designer will be better since they will produce the layout more exclusive look compared when they rearrange by themselves. It will produce only ordinary look since they lack of skills. After evaluating the alternative, the best choice is to renovate the boutique with the assistance of interior designer because they will facilitate the entire process of renovation. The skilled interior designer will pull together with several options that can make the space look dynamite and exclusive. Not only that, the interior designer also have the visions to know how it can be redesigned in a beautiful and code-compliant way.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Zarith Fitrah and I'm going to present on the next issue, which is about the accounting software. So the issue is Adilah Boutique does not have any accounting software to record their financial transactions. Without a proper accounting management, there will be a possibility of fraud and error in their business. This issue arises because the business lack of capital to buy accounting software. The owner, Puan Syazwani, does not possess sufficient accounting knowledge and skill, and they do not have any staff who has an expertise in accounting field. The alternative to solve this issue include Adilah Boutique may develop their own accounting software, or they can buy accounting software that is available in the market, or they can improve their manual way of recording. However, to choose the best option, Adilah should consider the key decision criteria. Firstly, the software must be simple to use, especially for users who does not have any experience in accounting. Secondly, the cost of the software must not be too high, and thirdly, it must not take too much time to install and implement the software in the business. Next, we must evaluate all the alternatives. If Adilah choose to develop their own software, they can customize the software up to their own preferences. However, they will incur a higher cost and so much time for the purpose of doing market research, training their staff, testing and implementing the software. The next option is to buy a software from the market. This will take a shorter time and also lower cost compared to developing their own software, and usually the developer will provide manual and training on how to use the system. The only drawback of this option is that Adilah cannot customize the system up to their own preferences. The other option, which is to improve their manual way of recording, will save a lot more time and cost, but there is a high possibility that fraud and error will occur in their business. To solve this issue, it will be best if Adilah buy the accounting software from the market if they receive the grant. However, if they do not receive one, they can use a portion of their business income to buy the software, as it is not too costly. And there are many options that they can choose from, such as MAF, CGBS and also SQL. By having a proper financial and accounting records management, it will be easier for them to apply for a loan in the future.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Farah Afiqah and I will present the next issue faced by Adilah Boutique, which is the vendors. Adilah Boutique has many vendors that place their goods at the boutique, which led them to have many problems. Some of the problems are the vendors are not punctual in managing their stocks, while some of them are having problems in paying the rental. And lastly, some of the vendors are not following the attire requirements set by Adilah Boutique, which is to sell Muslimah attire that complies with the Islamic principle. The issue above arises because Adilah has many problematic vendors. Besides, they also have 40 vendors, which is too many for a small business like them. Adilah did not limit the type of vendors product that they sell at the boutique. They also did not make a legal agreement on what should and what should not be sold at the boutique. And lastly, Adilah was not being selective in choosing the vendors. To resolve the issue, Adilah should limit the number of vendors that place their goods at the boutique, and they also must impose a strict conditions on the vendors that they must fulfill in order to place their goods at the boutique. The criteria that will influence the decisions are high demand product, which they should sell products that are highly in demand so they can generate more profits, and suitable for their target market, which focuses on career women and local university students. Next, we must evaluate the alternative. Firstly, Adilah should limit the number of vendors and being selective on the type of products placed at the boutique. Adilah should only choose vendors that are not selling the similar products. For example, they can choose vendors that sell clothes that go well with their scarf and shawls. By doing that, it is easier for Dalilah to manage, as it will be more systematic and they can have a bigger space for their own product. However, the only drawback of the option is that there will be less variation of products. Other than that, Adilah should also impose strict conditions on the vendors that they must fulfill in order to place their goods at the boutique. For example, if the vendors make a late payment, they should be penalized with extra charges. The option will be easier for Adilah to manage and control the vendors, and there will be less problem to deal with. However, the disadvantages of the option are they need to put extra effort to choose suitable vendors, and also the vendors might not be interested because of the strict conditions. To conclude, the best option to solve this issue is that Dalilah should choose to impose strict conditions on the vendors for the benefits of Dalilah and the vendors, since they will have a proper and systematic vendor management.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Faiqah Hanum bin Amin, and I will be present the last issue, which is plagiarism. The issue of Dalilah boutique regarding plagiarism is the other boutique copied their design, but they cannot take any action because their design is not patented. Okay, the issue arises because Dalilah boutique does not patent their designs, and they will face some losses, as it will be continued copied by the other boutique and sold at the lower price compared to them. And the other factor is their lack of capital or money to register their patent. The alternative that can be derived from this issue is Dalilah boutique owner, which is Puan Syazwani, can choose whether to patent their design or not to patent their design. And the decision criteria in order to choose whether to patent or not to patent is they need to ensure that they have their own exclusive right on their branding or name. Moving on to the next slide, which is about as for analyzing and evaluating the alternative. As we take a look at the table presented about the advantages and disadvantages for registration of patent. If Dalilah boutique decided to register their patent, they can gain some customer royalties, and they can sue the other boutique if their design are being copied. And more importantly, they can have their own exclusive rights over the design. However, the cons are it may incur them some additional costs on registration and renewal of patent, and it might take a longer period to complete the registration of patent. But if Dalilah boutique decided not to patent their design, they may suffer some losses, as customer may buy the same design at the other boutique which sell a lower price than them, and they cannot sue the other boutique if they continue to copy their design. But the advantage is Dalilah boutique might not have to incur additional cost for the registration. And last but not least, for the implementation or recommendation, after go through all the steps above, it will be better if Dalilah boutique decided to register their patent, as it can prevent their design from being copied by the other boutique, and it will lessen their losses in the future. As for the conclusion, if Dalilah receive the grant, they do not have to apply for a loan. They can remain at the same location and proceed with the renovation of the boutique that will incur them around 280,000, which will result in the increment of their sales around 10 to 30% compared to prior year. And by acquiring the grant, they can hire an interior designer to change and upgrade their layout. Besides, they can buy some sewing machines in order to produce their own scarf, and also can buy accounting software to improve their financial management. Thank you.